Hello everybody, this is Louisa with Ellie Paper Studio, and this is the sixth and last page of the album tutorial, the album series tutorial that I've been putting out. And this page is actually, let me show you in the original album. It is this page here, and it is a cascade or a waterfall. I always call it cascade. A waterfall feature, and with being held down by some ribbon, and then which allows you a lot of great picture opportunities on the front, and then also of course journaling opportunities if you don't want to put pictures down. This is what I did with my last one. So real quick, this waterfall is, you're gonna need your pieces already cut out, and I have mine right here. And also I recommend that the paper that you use, either you're going to lose a lot of space on that paper, so I normally use here the paper that I'm either not crazy about, or it has a repeating pattern where you can see it through and you don't feel like you lose the most important parts of the paper. For this one I'm going to use this paper because it's flowers and I have a male cat, even though they're blue and green. I just don't know how flowery I'm going to want to make his album, considering he's a boy. So that's why I chose that paper. So for the measurements on this page, you're going to want your pattern paper, which I've been using, as I said on my last video, the 8x8 paper pad. So it's just 8 inches tall by 4 3/4. Then for the waterfall feature, you're going to want to do, this one I do at 5 pieces at 4 inch by 3.5 inches, and then so here are my 5 pieces, and then your last piece is going to be 4 inches by 3 inches, and which is going to be then a 1/2 inch smaller. So definitely smaller pictures. You're only gonna be able to fit smaller pictures in here, or very much cropped pictures. And I'm sorry, I may have given you the wrong measurements. I did. I'm so sorry about that. So you're gonna need 4. You're gonna need 4 4x4s, and then the last piece is a 4 inch by 3.5. Next, you're going to want to score your pieces, and I'm going to use my Martha Stewart scoreboard, and I like to score it going this way rather than this way. So you're going to take your piece of paper and add this is my first one, and this is the 3.5, and I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then all your 4x4s, because they are 4x4, it doesn't matter which side you grab it, but you're still going to score it 1/2 inch. So here are your pieces. I also recommend that if you want to do some decorations, this is the time to make them. You can either use the same border punch that you've been using, but what I did, I really liked how this one turned out, where I just added, this is a punch from American Crafts, and then I added this beautiful strip of Martha Stewart punch in the back. I think I'm going to do the same. And for that I'm going to use this really cute pet paw print that I found at Michael's. I'm going to practice on this first. You can start building your waterfall. What I'm going to do is on this one I punched out my white paper and then used the red, and I thought it was a really good contrast. Here I'm going to do something similar where with the punch I've been using throughout, which is this one right here, I'm going to add this as a border to each one of these. You're also going to want, in addition to this, it's good if you have a guide to glue this entire piece down onto here. You don't need one, but I prefer to use one. If you have, all you need is a strip of paper, and your paper should be 5.5 inches. And really, if it's exactly the width of your waterfall feature, it's even better. But since I'm going to use some leftover paper, I'm just going to use this type of paper. I'm just going to cut it at 5.5. And then add my strip of paper. And I start with the top. Everybody does it a little bit differently. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna add your score tape and start gluing them on to this piece. You're gonna want to do it as flush as possible. This one, for example, has a tiny bit of a gap. You want to try to avoid that. And these are your 4 larger pieces. This is your last large piece. And now you're actually ready to glue this piece down. The other thing that if you were intending, you can either, these pieces you can emboss if you're giving this as a gift, if you don't want to use pattern paper on each piece, because this is not a gift and they're going to be covered by pictures. I'm leaving exactly as they are. And you're going to want to add a lot of good glue to this piece of pattern paper since it's going to be holding down this. You can tell that this one got put on quite crooked. And then lastly, and I forgot to mention, your last piece, your 3.5 by 4 inch piece, you actually don't need to score. So that was incorrect, what I told you earlier. It has been a while since I've made the same type of mini album, so I apologize for any kind of incorrect messages I've been putting out. And there you have it, that's your waterfall feature. The other thing that I forgot to mention is you're going to want to do your ribbon before you glue this down, because this is glued on with just this pink adhesive ATG. It's easy for me to lift it off the paper without ruining the paper. You're going to want to put your ribbon now. And there is your page. Next is this last page. This page is just some pattern paper, and normally I put the belly band on this side, but for this album I put it on this one. You could do either or. You can leave it plain, or you could add more flaps if you'd like to. I think I'm just going to leave it plain and do my belly band on the back cover. And since we already have one of these pages that is just plain, you can either do a waterfall going this way. However, in this small of an album, you'd only probably be able to do 2, maybe 3 pictures, but two of these will hold 5 pictures in front and back, right? So you can do something like similar to that over here if you wanted this to be your entire waterfall type page, or you can leave it plain like I am. So this is pretty much the mini album. All the pages inside of it. Right now this is how thick it's looking, and we're still missing the cover, both covers, and adding our mats, our smaller mats, and our decorations. This is the very final page of my small mini album. I hope you enjoyed this. Join me next for the final pieces of the mini album, and then I'll do a last video with a reveal of the mini album already decorated. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this inspired you.